the Dogs Podcast with your hosts, Blake Reneker, Justin Charles, and Josh All.
Hey, what's up, Browns fans? Welcome back to another episode of the Dogs Podcast. We are breaking down the upcoming matchup against the Ravens this Sunday. It's going to be an interesting game. Maybe not for the right reasons, but hey, who knows? We'll dive into all that. We've got another Discord Dog Pack episode for you guys here. We're letting the chat fill up. We're letting the audience fill up, and we'll start bringing everybody up on stage to get your thoughts and voices on the show. Josh, Justin, and I got Kenny Mack with us tonight. Blake is celebrating his anniversary tonight. So happy anniversary to Blake and his lovely wife. Hope you guys enjoy the evening, enjoy the day. And, because we got the Browns on Sunday. So right down the drain. So if you guys that want to be, if you're listening to this, watching on YouTube, and you want to be part of these Dog Pack Discord episodes, make sure you guys head to jointhedogs.com, become an official Dog Pack member on the Patreon page, sync it up with the private Discord that you see here. This is an awesome community. I mean, everybody in here, the best people, diehard Browns fans. And honestly, we've become great friends with so many of these people, and it's great. We've met a bunch of people. There's already been some meetups. We're having another one in November, right, Kenny? I mean, that's going to be a good one.
That's going to be down in Berea at Grindstones, and it's set. We're just waiting on some availability of some of the things the Browns may or may not be able to provide. But either way, there are drink specials. There's going to be an autograph ball for a raffle. I'm going to be providing something for my Browns backers as well. Has to do with the Browns and with the Guardians for the raffle. So we're going to have a lot of fun. Band going on around 8 o'clock. And tons of Browns fans going. I'm on the President's Leadership Council. There's 10 of us, and half of us are going to be there. And I'm going to reach out to all the local presidents of all the chapters for the Browns, and hopefully I get to see them. I know PLX is in. I'm hoping Rich from Tuscarawas comes. We got the North Royalton Tim, who is on the PLC with me. Obviously, Paul from the Browns backers in Berea is going to be there, and much, much more. Becky from Oneida. I can go on and on and on. Brian from Greater Cincinnati. I can go on.
I love it, man. It's going to be a great time. So yeah, if you're interested in all this stuff, again, the website, jointhedogs.com, become an official Dog Pack member. And also real quick, if you're watching this on YouTube, like the video, subscribe, tap the notification bell. You guys know the drill by now. So let's kind of dive into this Ravens preview real quick. And then, like I said, we'll start bringing people up because I think the topics are kind of going to go all over the place. It's been a crazy week for Browns news, but I did want to address in the chat, Mama Tendo, kind of kicking off the vibe so far for what we've seen from this team. She says, if I hear illegal shift one more time, I may lose my freaking mind. She didn't say freaking.
Dude, I'm out. I mean, I'm out. I heard it.
I mean, and that's the thing. So I was looking up some stats this week, and the Browns lead the league in penalties with 60, I believe it was, and 32 of those are pre-snap penalties. Most in the league, and the next highest in pre-snap penalties is 24. So we're almost 10 pre-snap penalties more than the next highest team.
That's awful. Like, man, and again, it goes to what we were saying. Like, maybe this is a blessing in disguise about the OC coordinator position, actually concentrating on calling plays. Andy Dickerson, the guy that came in from Philadelphia, the assistant line coach, please get these guys on task, on schedule. I do understand that we've had a lot of injuries, and we're going to be pretty much full pin as far as like starting lineup. We have everybody back. I just don't know if Teller's going to be on a pitch count.
So let me tell you about that real quick. So I saw the the injury report today, videos from practice. Jed Wills has not practiced yet this week with a knee injury, and they've got DeJuan Jones practicing at left tackle.
Wow. Okay.
So fans who have been clamoring, why can't we just see Jed over at DeJuan Jones over at left tackle? Let's put him over there, yada, yada. You might be getting to see it this week. Actually, this weekend might be fans' chance to see a whole lot of different things that they've been wanting to see. DeJuan Jones potentially at left tackle, Jameis Winston at quarterback, and Ken Dorsey calling the plays. The first time Kevin has ever given up play calling duty since he's been here.
Wow.
I've got a request on what I'd like to see for Sunday. I don't know if it's too much to ask or not, but I'd like to just see the resemblance of some type of competent football team, a professional football team. And I don't mean to sound crappy when I say that, but
That's the truth, man.
It's super frustrating. I'm about as positive as
I hear you.
and I'm over it. I'm not over it. I'll sign up every week and I will turn in every week to watch them. This is the time of the year that I love, especially with the Cleveland Browns. But man, it has been absolutely frustrating to the point of I feel myself becoming negative. And when I start to feel like that, I'm like, man, this is the first time in maybe my whole life. I used to at least cheer in for 0-16. I'd be like, hey, this is the Sunday that we're gonna get it. And I'm always optimistic on a win. It's getting hard. It's getting very hard, especially when you see the same repetitive mistakes. And it's just, I don't know. I'd like to believe it's just we're unprepared, and maybe these are the things that we need, like these changes that we've talked about. But man, it is so frustrating just seeing the same crap product rolled out every week. And I hate to say that. I hate to badmouth the team, but my goodness, something's got to change. Something has to give here. There has to be some positivity that rolls out this week. It might not be the best opponent to try to figure things out either, because it turns out we're playing Baltimore, who's playing out of their freaking minds.
So Baltimore's on a 5-game win streak. They lost their first 2. They haven't lost since. I'm just going to run through the numbers real quick because obviously I like to pull these stats, but it does give us an idea of where, if the Browns are going to have any success. I mean, the numbers clearly show you what you can do. So the Ravens, in terms of like the yards per game that they give up on defense, they actually give up the 10th most in the league, 355 yards given up per game, 274 passing. That's the second most in the whole league. So if you're going to beat them, it has to be through the air, because rushing, they're only allowing 68 yards a game rushing. That is by far the best in the league. They shut down the run. They are a pass funnel defense. You have to throw the ball if you want to beat them. They're giving up the 6th most points per game, 25.7. So, I mean, can the Browns crack 20 for the first time this year? We're the only team in the NFL who hasn't done it yet. On offense, they are the best team in the NFL. Most yards per game, 461 per game. Passing, 250. That's the 6th most. Rushing, of course, 210 yards a freaking game. That is the most. And that is thanks to Derrick Henry, who already has 873 yards this season and 8 touchdowns. It's like a good season for most running backs, and it's only been 7 games. 6.5 yards a carry, 125 yards per game. This guy is a monster. I did put in here last year in 2023 with the Titans, when the Browns played the Titans, they held Derrick Henry to just 20 total yards on 11 carries, 1.8 yards per carry. But that was a different team. That was a different offense, a different quarterback. And that was also a different Browns defense.
It's fair. It's very fair. I guess a positive for the Cleveland Browns, I saw Zay Flowers still out in practice this week, which he's an amazing young receiver. He is very, very shifty, very good. The only problem with that is Rashad Bateman was kind of emerged into a serious weapon for them, which we've kind of, I would say as Browns fans, we've kind of just put him to the side and said, can't stay healthy, don't really have to worry about him. He's become a piece of this offense as well. As far as like Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry, that 2-headed monster of just rushing it out, like you said, we stopped Derrick Henry when he was with Tennessee. We also did not have to worry about Lamar Jackson just doing whatever he wanted at will to the Browns. So, it's a divisional game. My thing going into this is it's a divisional game. It's AFC North game. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tight, I would think. Going to be competitive. Can we stay with them? Because, Jameson's going to be able to throw the ball around, I would think, as long as he can stay upright. If we can hold some type of protection up for this guy, I think that he's going to be able to sling the ball around and is not going to be scared to.
No,
dude, he literally in the last game, I know it was against kind of a garbage defense, but still, he stood up into the pocket. And what I mean by that is the pass rush came up, it went around him, he stood up, and he delivered the ball. And you're right, man, we got a guy that can sling it. And the way that you beat the Ravens is you pass the ball right now. And the other thing is I know this is going to seem kind of whimsical, kind of magical, but you guys know, usually the team that wins big on Monday night, they don't really show, or it takes a while for them to show up on Sunday. And the Browns are at home and they need to take advantage of that. And the biggest way of taking advantage of that is stopping Derrick Henry and that run. And our defense is good enough. Like, we held the Bengals to 14 points. It just, our special teams have let us down. And Bubba Vatrone's got enough fire in him to get those guys lit up for the rest of the year. And it's time to start winning and start being, like you said, competent ball players.
Absolutely. I mean, Baltimore is, I believe, 9.5-point favorites. I would actually, we do the pick'em on Sleeper with the Discord, here the dog pack, and I'll take the Browns in this one with the points because, like you said, Justin, I think it will be close, right? And with Jameis Winston, what's going to be different about him from Deshaun and DTR? Jameis doesn't run unless he has to. He's not looking to run. He's not a running quarterback. Yes, he's athletic. He can if he has to, but that's not his forte. His forte is the arm, pocket passer. So we're going to see a much different execution of the offense. Now, whether or not it's any better, I don't know, but I don't think you're going to see a quarterback doing one read and looking to run and make a play with his legs.
I agree completely. I think something interesting too heading into this game. Obviously, David Njoku is going to be main target number one, I think, for the foreseeable future. As long as Jameis is quarterback, I see David Njoku being the guy. I would expect Cedric Tillman. I think Cedric Tillman is going to start kind of showing out, and maybe it's just the fantasy aspect for me. I really, really believe that he's going to start taking some major steps because he's going to get the exposure now. He's been limited as far as getting onto the field because you got Amari Cooper and Jerry Jeudy. I don't know what to expect from Jerry Jeudy as far as this game. He's coming off of a terrible game where he wasn't featured at all as far as the number one receiver. It's really Cedric Tillman, you know what I mean, with eight catches for 82 yards or whatever. But I do believe Cedric Tillman is going to kind of emerge as maybe a young star for this team.
It's possible. I saw, and you mentioned the fantasy, so I saw a stat that in the game against the Bengals, Cedric Tillman actually had a 30% first read target share, meaning when the quarterback drops back, who's the first read? And it was Cedric Tillman 30% of the time. And I think Jerry Jeudy was the next closest, around maybe 12 or something, 15. And I think Elijah Moore then was at like 11. So he was more than double the first read for at least the wide receivers. I guess I didn't see what Njoku's first read share was, but among the wide receivers, it was Tillman.
Yes. Yep.
That makes sense. He's the biggest guy. You want him to be your first down, your chain mover. And then with Jeudy, he's got a little bit more speed. He'd be more like your, Stephon Diggs, take the top off. But, I mean, I'm a little loose on that, though, because he's not as fast as we'd like. Yeah.
I mean, just kind of so we've got Tony wants to come up on stage. We'll bring you up in 1 second. I was just going to say, quick pointers for the game. Don't give up a touchdown on the first kick, please. Just special teams. Stop screwing us. Make your kicks. Make your extra points. This is ridiculous. Don't give up big punt returns. That is where we're getting killed because our defense is holding teams, explosive offenses like the Bengals, to 14 points. And we're missing out. We're committing 11-point swings on special teams. I mean, we're just killing ourselves.
Yeah.
This episode is sponsored by Leaf Filter. Browns fans, whether the team is winning or not, you are the most diehard, loyal fans in the league, year in and year out. And just like you, Leaf Filter has been supporting clean gutters in Northeast Ohio year after year. And because Leaf Filter is the official gutter guard of the Cleveland Browns, they have a limited time offer for all of you barking dogs. Right now, you can get up to 32% of your entire qualified purchase and 2 free official Browns jerseys at leaffilter.com/dogs. Now, I don't know how many of you have ever cleaned your gutters, but it's a tedious, messy, time-consuming chore. So cut down on your weekend home maintenance, cross off another item on that to-do list so you can spend more time watching football on your days off. Leaf Filter uses award-winning patented technology to keep everything out of your gutters except for the water. Schedule your free gutter inspection today for a free no-obligation estimate on protecting your home from flooding, roof damage, rotting siding, foundation issues, and all those things you really don't need to be dealing with as a homeowner. A Leaf Filter trusted pro will clean out your gutters, realign and seal them before installing Leaf Filter. Schedule your free inspection now, and for a limited time, get up to 32% off your entire qualified purchase and 2 free Browns jerseys at Leaf Filter, leaffilter.com/dogs, DAWGS. That's a free inspection, up to 32% off, and 2 free Browns jerseys with a qualified purchase at leaffilter.com/dogs. Offer valid on a first-come, first-served basis while supplies last. Full terms and conditions can be found at leaffilter.com/dogs. See representatives for warranty details. Tony, what's
How
up,
you guys
man?
doing?
Good.
Tony, up, brother.
Hey, guys.
Tony, what is going on?
Not much, man. I'm actually somewhat excited to attend the game this Sunday, and I think that's just because I'm expecting a little bit more of a firepower offense. And I say that because I don't know if you guys, I know you guys were talking about the Browns Daily Show a little bit earlier, but I think Zagura said it best. Jameis Winston is going to be Joe Flacco, where he's going to throw for 300 some yards, a couple touchdowns, but he's probably going to also have a pick 6 or 2 here or there, But at this point in time, regardless of a win or a loss, if Winston's putting up 300 yards, getting 2 or 3 touchdowns, that makes me at least excited because, we saw last year where if we're able to put up points on the board, our defense knows how to handle it. Obviously, the Ravens is a completely different animal, but it seems like anytime it's the AFC game other than the home game last year where DTR had 0 prep, that game's always close. It comes down to the wire. So I'm actually really excited for this Sunday just to see what the offense could do. But a good question that I wanted to ask you guys for today is, I know you guys were talking a little bit earlier with the whole OC change and things like that, but do we think we're going to go back to shotgun spread all over again, not a lot under the center, or do you think we're still going to see aspects of that coming up this Sunday?
Woof.
Well, let's put it this way. Ken Dorsey is the one who was hired to come in and implement this offense that we've seen, the shotgun, not under center offense. That was the Kevin Stefanski offense. That's not what we've been running. And the only change we've made now is take play calling duties from Kevin and give it to Ken Dorsey. So I think it's going to be more of what we've already seen this season. I don't see why then Ken Dorsey would call plays and revert back to Kevin Stefanski's offense. You know what I mean? I think it'll be more of the same.
I think. Go ahead, Ken.
I was just gonna say, take a look at the Ken Dorsey thing that I did for Throwback Thursday. He can do a couple things. We are enamored with Josh Allen and the way that he was rolling there. However, the offense was really different when you look at the Carolina Panthers. There was a 1-back, 2 tight end set. They had 2 tight ends. Anyways, long story short, they didn't have any receivers. Kevin Benjamin was done for the year with an ACL or a Achilles tear. And so they had to really spread the ball around. And ultimately, they ran the ball. They controlled the time of possession. And they also had, I forget the running back's name, but that's what got them to the Super Bowl. But everything was on Cam Newton. So if he's going to put everything on Winston right now, he can do that offense. But there's a lot of things that he did with Buffalo that were super what we need right now. So, for example, we got he was number 1 in success rate, number 2 on third downs. We are like the bottom, right? In early down success rate, he's 47%. This is all when he was fired. And I got these from Josh, I believe. Number 4 in rate of down conversion to first downs, and he was number 4 in points per possession at 0.85. So if he can get half those numbers with us, with the defense we have, I'm feeling pretty good, like you said. But again, it's maybe we'll actually be like a legit offense, and we'll actually do what we need to do to win. and maybe it's not running today, or maybe it is passing today. You know what I mean? So a combination of both.
I'm with you, Kenny. So my thing too is, the offense was very, very predictable from week one. You kind of knew what we were going to do as far as nothing was going downfield. Nothing was really going more than 10 yards downfield as far as throws. But Jameis comes out and starts kind of hurling it around. Not only does that open things up as far as just backing the defense, the secondary up a little bit, you start opening up the opportunity for Nick Chubb to kind of just get out of some good situations. Now, and I expect Nick Chubb's work kind of to start ramping up a little bit. Like, I'm not expecting him to come out and play every friggin' offensive snap, but I think that they're slowly going to start working him back in. If you can put him in a position, especially this offensive line, where they don't always have to be on their heels and always have to pass protect, I think that this can be a nice blend. I don't think that we should absolutely just go away from the run. And I know that's what kind of got Ken Dorsey fired in Buffalo. They kind of just abandoned the run. And then, Joe Brady came in and really just run. James Cook became the focus. Yes. And they still have been, that's a huge part of their game. But that's something that I'm looking forward to see, as far as you don't have to have every freaking guy in the box now. You know what I mean? Even every guy's in the box, even though basically they know, even if it's a pass or a run, it's not going more than a few yards upfield. So I'm excited to, see us take some shots. I hope it's not so conservative that, it's predictable still. I think that's kind of where we got into trouble. Like, the offense was just boring and just vanilla, and just there's nothing creative about it, and it just nothing scared defenses, So I look forward to the fact that hopefully Jameis can kind of unlock some things as far as downfield, and then that opens up potential for Nick Chubb. And then we see, guys getting more than a yard or two every attempt and just getting blown up at the line or behind the line.
Yeah, so a lot's going to be left up to that line of scrimmage, man, or to the line. Like, we can't have these procedure penalties. We can't. That's the biggest thing, right? But go ahead, Josh.
I was going to say, we'll get Truth up here next, but I just wanted to real quick say that, the Browns are changing play callers. They're not changing offenses. It's still the same offense. It's still the same playbook. It's just a different person pulling plays from that playbook. If the players don't understand the plays, or it's confusing to them, or there's not communication, they're not prepared, or they don't understand the offense, whatever all this crap we've seen is, I don't expect that to change just because it's a different voice going into the quarterback's helmet. I got to shout out my boy Jermaine Houston on Twitter. Talk to him all the time, and he said just a little bit ago today, he said, it doesn't matter who cooks the food. If you still have crap for ingredients, you're still going to have the same turd pie. And I thought that was great. Like, yeah, it doesn't matter who's calling the plays. It doesn't matter who's cooking the food. The ingredients, the players, the execution, the preparation during the week, well, that's not changing. I mean, it's still the same people involved in the preparation during the week that we've had all year. We didn't fire anybody. We didn't bring anybody new in. The only thing that we're going to see that's different is who's calling plays on Sunday.
I kind of disagree with you, man.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. We watched film and we saw guys open downfield. The problem was we couldn't get them the ball.
Well, now that's a player thing, though.
Hold up. The read was bad. You know what I mean?
But that's a player thing. That's what I'm saying. Like, if Jameis comes in and he's executing the offense, I would hesitate to say, I'm not going to immediately say, oh, Ken Dorsey was the answer. Maybe Jameis was the answer.
I swear that's where I'm at right now.
Okay.
And I'm hoping that's the answer. You know what I mean? Because if not, I think there's just another head on the block, basically. Now you're saying, well, hey, Ken Dorsey's calling the plays. So, and this is still not working. So, maybe Ken Dorsey needs to go. And if this doesn't get figured out, I think Ken Dorsey will just be the first of many guys that you'll see go, as far as players and coaches, because it's collectively a shit effort.
It could be a whole lot of interim coaching positions after the bye week. So,
yes.
All right, Truth, why don't you come on up here? Give us your optimistic thoughts for the week.
Yeah. What is that? First, before we talk Browns, sorry, Kenny, that the Cavs beat up on the Raptors so bad the other night.
It's all right, man. We stink. And you know what? I'm going to a Cavs game when I get down next Friday, so I'll be happy to watch some Cavs too.
Heck yeah. All right. Well, I just want to ask, are the typical negative, miserable Browns fans happy now? They get all this drama now. They get all the drama now. Possible top pick, drama with the quarterback position, drama with the coach position, drama with the stadium thing. All this drama. So much drama. But you know what? We got Mr. Crab Legs himself starting Sunday. I think we might see more than 20 points on Sunday. At least. It might be even just 21 points, but at least more than 20. And my hot takes, Nick Chubb has 50 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns, and Jameis has 300 yards passing, 1 touchdown passed, and to Cedric Tillman. There we go.
I love it. I love it. I will say this about there are definitely some Browns fans, and I mean, come on, we all know them. We all have friends or family we've talked to like this, and they'll say things. Oh, well, the Browns can't ever get the good players, and then they'll turn around and when we do have good players, and they don't like the way they played in a game or something they said to the media, they'll say, "Well, just get them out of here."
I think we overanalyze and we micromanage in situations that maybe we don't even understand at all, because we are NFL GMs. We're not NFL coaches. We're not NFL players. I think you watch any NFL football team and you're going to see bad plays. Even the best teams. You'll turn on Buffalo, Kansas City. You know, the Cincinnati Bengals have a really good offense. How did it look last week? Was it perfect? No. I think that's where we kind of have to like take a deep breath and kind of just let things lie. You know what I mean? And that's the problem where I'm at right now is, and maybe I'm nervous. I waited my whole life for us to find some kind of stability in this organization, and I thought that we were there. I was almost positive that we had finally found that stability, and we didn't have to worry about getting a coach, and maybe we didn't have to worry about getting a GM. Maybe we didn't have to worry about looking for a quarterback, but then, you know, I feel like I'm heading right back down the same road that I'm comfortable here. I'm comfortable in this misery because this is my whole life. I'm 30, 40 years of being a Cleveland Browns fan of this, you know? So, I do think that maybe as Browns fans, we overstep, you know what I mean? And we kind of overanalyze things that we maybe don't even understand at all.
I fully agree with you on that.
Go ahead.
Nope, I'm good. Go ahead, Kenny.
I usually call it just the John Madden football effect. I think a lot of people play so much John Madden that these players and all these situations, they don't become real. And that's why it's so easy to get rid of everything and discard everything. It's like, well, I can just get rid of it and make myself and be better or something along that lines. And it's also easy just to say whatever you want on social because, you know, I think we've said this before, and this is a Mike Tyson thing. This isn't a Kenny Mack thing. He goes, real easy to say stuff when you're online because you don't have to worry about getting punched in the face.
For sure.
Absolutely. All right, let's get Andrew Jackson up here. What's going on, Andrew?
Andrew freaking Jackson. Let's go, buddy.
No. What's up, baby? So, a couple things. Going off what Brad just said, the current line on FanDuel for the Browns scoring is over under 17.5. So, Vegas doesn't seem too excited about us scoring more than 20 points this
Why
week.
would they be?
But, yeah, well, that's true. But, so this season that it started off, obviously, you know, like just so weird and just in the dumps. Like for personally, like I've only watched 2 full games all year, and one was a Jacksonville game, and I think the other was a Giants game because of work. And currently on night shift, and I did this Sunday. I forced myself to wake up to go watch the game. I got there about halfway through the first quarter and watched all the second quarter. Like, am I justified in feeling like I don't want to wake up and go watch this game Sunday? Like, the next game we're going to watch, obviously, is the Chargers game because we'll all be there. And I'll be back on a normal life and normal schedule. But I have zero desire to wake up and watch this game Sunday. And does that make me a terrible Browns fan at the moment? Or is that just like the way that the season's going? And it's just like, I have no desire.
It makes you a human, man.
Not the way the offense is going, man. It is a tough sell. I mean, you're talking to someone right now that's trying to interest people in a city that doesn't have to like the Browns to come in and watch this. I can do only so much song and dance before people don't want to come anymore. The other thing is being on social and just reading up and reading on comments so I can get a feel of what to say. You know how many people want to burn their season tickets right now? It is unreal, and they're willing to give them away for peanuts on $1. They don't want their tickets anymore, and it's in the forums that I have with my presidents. It's in the forums that I have just on any like Brownstown or all these ones that are out there, and people just don't want to go, and you can't blame them. When a product's bad, you don't want to invest in it, and time is money, and people don't want to invest that money.
No, I agree. I can't tell you how many people I've talked to in like at least the last 3 to 4 weeks where they go, yeah, I took my kid hiking and it was great. Spent the day with the family, especially people that, like, for me to go up to a game, I'm leaving, our area 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. And then you're pretty much up in Cleveland till 6, 7 PM. So you're giving your whole day away to go up and experience this product. And by this product, I mean, I don't even know what to call it. I think a dumpster fire would be a fair thing to say. Just organized confusion, based on what we were sold. You know what I mean? I felt like the Browns did one of the best sell jobs I've ever seen in my life as far as a salesperson. They're like, this is going to be the sweetest deal ever. We're going to be so freaking good. And I was like, yeah, you guys are going to be freaking good. I just watched you guys go to the playoffs with 5 different quarterbacks. Hell yeah, let's go. This is going to be
man. Every pundit said we had a top 10 roster, so this wasn't the Browns. This is the whole NFL.
Yep.
Oh, and
I just don't go ahead, buddy.
I was saying the juicy offense. We're going to be scoring all kinds of touchdowns and points. Yeah. And it's like, wow, you guys were full of crap.
That juicy offensive burger had E. coli, bro.
Yep, and we are getting the diarrheas from it every freaking Sunday, man.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, I mean, I usually like last year, really any year, I'm Sundays like that. There's that afternoon window usually when the Browns play. It's 1 o'clock most times. It's like from like 12:30 to 4. Leave me alone. Like I want to make sure that if there's stuff I got to do, I do it in the morning, or I got my plans to do it after the game in the evening, whatever. I want to make sure I watch the Browns, but this year it's a little different. Like the family is, hey, what can you guys do a pumpkin carving on Sunday? What time? 12:30. Sure. I'll probably throw the game up on my phone, and have it setting off to the side, and I'll go back and watch a little bit of it later and everything, so I know what happened. But I don't know. It is a little bit different. It's you don't feel that urge to make the commitment to sit down and spend, if you're watching from home, the 3.5 hours to watch the game. So no, Andrew, I don't think it makes you a bad fan. I mean, you're still here. You're still a Browns fan. You're still pulling for the team. You're still rooting for them. You haven't, thrown away the colors and gone and, taken on some other team. You're human. We have emotions. We got feelings. We're emotionally connected to this team. We're invested in them. They've really let us down this year. This episode is brought to you by Manly Bands. Dog Pack, if you followed the show for a while, you know that I recently got married. I got my wedding band at Manly Bands. Now, I opted for something a little more simple, so I just got a plain, simple, gold, polished band from Manly Bands, but that's not everybody. And I'm telling you, they've got so many cool different designs and materials available. They've got bands made out of Jack Daniel's whiskey barrels, meteorites, even dinosaur bones. It's so cool. Just head to manlybands.com, check out the selection, see what they have. They've even got build your own bands if you want to make a custom style band for yourself. And right now, use promo code DAWGS, DAWGS, at manlybands.com when you check out, and you'll get 25% off your order. 25% is a big deal. So make sure, if you guys are looking for a new wedding band, Blake mentioned last week or two on the show that, he's lost a lot of weight in the last year. And so his wedding band is a little too big for him. So he's thinking about getting a new one. And I told him, I said, just go to Manly Bands, see what they got. And the 25% off your order is such a great deal. You really can't beat it. So at least go check it out, see what they have. They've got some really cool stuff. And again, promo code DAWGS, DAWGS, if you decide to buy one, and you'll get 25% off of that purchase. If you don't know your ring size, you can order a free ring size guide. They'll ship it straight to you. You can punch out the little rings and put them on your finger to see which size fits you best. And then every single band you order comes with a free silicone ring for whenever you want to work out or go swimming or whatever you need a silicone band for. You get one for free shipped with your purchase of a Manly Band from manlybands.com. So check it out. Again, manlybands.com. Use promo code DAWGS for 25% off your order. Big news, Dog Pack. We are thrilled to announce we have a partnership now with BetStamp and Sign Up Expert, opening up an incredible opportunity for you to join some of our favorite sports books and get the best odds and new user offers this NFL season. Head over to our dedicated page at signupexpert.com/dogs, DAWGS, to explore a whole selection of sports books tailored to your region, each with unique offerings for you. If you guys are ready to take your sports betting to the next level this NFL season, head over to signupexpert.com/dogs, DAWGS, and check out the new user offers and the best odds on all the sports books. That's signupexpert.com/dogs. All right, well, it looks like Justin had to jump off real quick to attend to his children. Let's see, does anybody else want to
sorry.
Oh, no, he's back.
Absolutely did. What I will say real quick, Andrew, is you're not a bad person. You have responsibilities and things that you have to attend to as far as your job and your family. And I do not look down at you at all for that. I know how loyal you are, and you will be here with us. So don't worry about that, brother.
Andrew just dropped one more comment here in the chat. Man, that kind of does tug at my heartstrings a little bit. I know we're just talking about football, but he says, I used to move heavens and earth just to watch the Browns. I feel betrayed. I'm sure that you are not alone in that, because I know there's 3 people on this stage right now feeling the same way, man.
I mean, I was talking to Josh today about dealing with people online, and it is the most bitter I've seen people. They're so angry and irrational. Like, just you say something and people just jump down your throat. You're stupid. You're like that. Whatever they're gonna say is not positive. That's for sure. And it's unreal. Like, it's kind of funny, and sometimes you can just kind of poke it along, and all of a sudden you're like, "What am I doing? I need to drop out of this conversation real fast."
Sometimes I get caught into it too. Like, I'm just gonna egg this person on a little bit, and then like, I shouldn't have done that, because they're clearly way more dedicated to being stupid than I am.
I don't do the socials. You guys know this. I like, for me, I draw a line, and I had moments where I'm just like, it's not worth the time. I already argue with people all day. The Browns were something I used to love to talk about all the time, and it's exhausting. And I don't know how you guys do it. Props to you guys. But I know just on a daily basis, it's something that, I talk a lot about, and that's kind of where I've drawn my line with it. Is I'm like, well, I'm not getting online and also arguing online with people the rest of my free time.
You just got to remember, man, there's tons of bad fans, and there's a lot of high horses and short memories, and people don't listen and they don't read. And if you can swallow that and try and make people understand and just try and get after it, that's what I do, man. And if I don't, it's just like, I'm out for a bit.
I'll be back later.
Yeah, I'll be back later.
I will say, like, just as a side note to this conversation, like, what we do here, it's not for the faint of heart. I mean, like, when we started the podcast, it was like, hey, let's just do something kind of fun, see if this goes anywhere or whatever. But, the more you do it, the more people that get engaged with the podcast and on socials and just, even just listening or comments on YouTube, whatever it may be, you really got to have thick skin, because, I mean, I've gotten called names that I was like, I never in a million years would have thought somebody would accuse me of this or called me that. But hey, here we are, on Twitter or Facebook or wherever. So you just kind of got to roll with it. And just, you know what, we're producing Browns content. There's enough people here that seem to enjoy it, so we're just going to keep doing it, and that's how we roll.
Yep.
So
exactly.
Does anybody want to get back up here on stage? Okay, there we go. Tony's wanting to come back up. We're going to wrap this thing up here in about a couple minutes. So if anybody wants to get up here after Tony, just get your hands up now. But Tony, what you got, buddy?
My apologies, I was on mute. So let's say this Sunday, clean slate. You know, remove everything from the past. 7 weeks. Call it. It's a new beginning. At least that's the way I'm looking at it, because I'm trying to stay as positive I possibly can. So new slate. So good question is, if we were to go into this game and shock the world and beat the Ravens, what is 2 key players on offense that need to do well and 2 key players on defense that need to go do well in order for us to win this game?
Ooh, I could go.
Do it.
I could go. Give me Jameis. Give me David Njoku on offense. And you know what? No, not David Njoku. Am I allowed to name a group? I would like to say the offensive line as a collective player. And then for defense, give me JOK. I think he's going to be pivotal in kind of, shutting down Lamar and, Derrick Henry. And let's see, I haven't heard, what's all going on with him, but I know Jordan Hicks hasn't been practicing this week. If he's in there, I think he's extremely, extremely important in this game. And I think he's very undervalued as far as what he's done, when he's out there. But those would be my 2. I think linebacker play is going to be critical.
Yeah. Kenny, you got 2 on top of your head?
Yeah, if I'm going offense, you can't be a Browns fan and not say Jameis just based on the quarterback play. But if I take that out of the equation, against the Ravens, you got to have a run game, and I'm going to go with Nick Chubb just because I'm a Nick Chubb fan and I love him, and it's his second game. If I have to go defense, though, this is a big one, and you need to control the line of scrimmage on these guys, and you can't get King Henry to get ahead of steam. Delvin Tomlinson, please show up, man. Have that game that you had against the 49ers. Control that line of scrimmage, throw people around, and get Derrick Henry down. Last but not least, it's got to be one of our 2 corners that's not named Denzel Ward.
Yes.
Those guys got to show up and shut down, and especially if, who did you say was injured for the receivers for
Zay Flowers?
Zay Flowers not showing up. I would say then you really need somebody. Yeah, I might take this back and go back to safety. We need someone to shut down Isaiah Likely and Mark Andrews then, and that could be a linebacker, that could be our safeties, but we have them all back. All 3 are back, so maybe I'll take that back, and I'm going to say Juan Thornhill, show up, do something, please, buddy.
Yeah, you guys nailed everything on offense. I don't want to repeat anything. I'll say for me, it'd be, I need to see a repeat game out of Cedric Tillman. Go out there and be dominant. We need one of our drafted wide receivers to freaking hit. I would love to see him come out here and just have a big game, make like a nice deep catch down the field, run somebody over or stiff arm somebody, to create some separate after the catch. I want to see him ball out. I really, really do. And defense, I'm with you, Kenny. I like Greg Newsome. Dude, you cannot get cooked. You have got to stop getting cooked out there because Rashad Bateman's got so much speed. He's a great route runner. This is a dude that'll get behind you in a heartbeat, and then it's over. I mean, he is big plays. He's not a lot of receptions, but he'll stack up over 100 yards on 4 catches, and that's what he does. So we've got to take that away. And then kind of with your Dalvin Tomlinson thing, Kenny, I'm going to say I'd love to see a big game out of Mike Hall, because when Lamar Jackson wants to run, it's when he's stepping up through that pocket and he sees an opening and he just takes off. And if we can close down those openings, because Mike Hall's that more athletic interior lineman, he's got that speed, the athleticism, shut down Lamar's escapability up through the center of the pocket. And that kind of limits what he can do on the ground, because everything else will have to be out wide around the edges where there's more space to cover and more time for players to get to him.
Yeah, and then maybe, if any receiver that's going against the Ravens secondary, Marlon Humphreys doesn't play, Someone's got to light somebody up.
Yeah.
He hasn't practiced yet either this week, I believe.
No, he hasn't.
All right. Well, it's going to be an interesting game, like we said at the beginning, because there's just so many different nuanced things to watch for this weekend. Kenny, Justin, any last thoughts you guys want to give before we wrap it up?
I'm just happy that it's coming to a point where injury lists are kind of matching, and now that we have Deshaun out, our injury list is a little bit smaller. The Ravens match ours. It'll be interesting to see the final reports tomorrow and who's going to play and who's not going to play. And the Ravens are on a roll, so I wouldn't be surprised if they won. But that being said, I gave you my little Monday night tidbit where it was let's see how they are again on the road, and let's see if they get their legs under them right away, because that's something that you really got to take advantage of. Last week, regardless of what happened to Deshaun Watson, I think the fans, I think the players, we have to all get on the same page. I know it's kind of get sucked to go to the stadium based on the records, but if we get in as a united front, just cheer, get out to the game, and just cheer for the Browns, and get back there, have a good time. Let bygones be bygones.
Most so nicely put, brother. Such a nice little, man, what a nice send off to the end of the show. No, I'm with you, man. I think my tidbit for the week right now is going to be, I don't care about anything with the city of Cleveland and Brook Park. Give me a competent football product, and then you can raise my tickets 3 times the price of what they should be. But until then, until you give me something that's worth, tripling my season tickets, I don't care about anything with the news with that. I don't give a crap. I want to see I'd rather see a 500 ball club in that stadium on the lake right now than care about what's going on in Brook Park. And so that's all I'll say. And I feel like I got negative, but so I'll end it on a positive note. Can't wait to see the Browns win on Sunday. Go Browns.
All right. I love it. Yep. Competent football. Let's just give us something to watch. Give us something to watch. Give us something fun. That's what we're wanting. That's what we need. So appreciate everybody who jumped in here for the Dog Pack Discord episode this week. I mean, I know the season has been rough. The record's bad. The team is bad, but you guys are still sticking through this season with us. And obviously we're going to keep going all season long like we always do. So again, if you want to get into these Discord episodes, it's jointhedogs.com. Become an official Dog Pack member on the Patreon page, join the Discord, all that good stuff. Get in. It's a great place to be, even when the Browns aren't playing well. We do these therapy sessions together, but the therapy session goes on all week long, 24/7, with everybody in the Discord. So get in there, have some fun, meet some great people. So for Justin, Kenny, and myself, we will see you guys next week after the Browns play the Ravens, and hopefully we're talking about a win on maybe a Victory Monday. We will see. But until then, go Brownies.
Go Browns.
Let's go Browns. Ow. Weekend.
Yeah, let's go, baby.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Dogs Podcast. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Twitter at The Dogs Podcast. Get your thoughts on the show at thedogspodcast.com.
This episode is sponsored by My Patriot Supply. Hey, Dog Pack, we do a lot of fun promos on the show, but let me ask you a serious question this time. Do you think the world's going in the right direction, or, does it kind of feel like a lot of things are falling apart? Hurricanes, tornadoes, natural disasters, we just had a pandemic, foreign wars, threats of escalated conflicts. It could be a lot, guys. I get it. And if you're feeling alarmed, you're not alone. Your views, one way or another, they don't change the fact that we all need to be prepared for our families, and that starts with having an emergency food supply. We're living in crazy times, and that's why so many people are making sure their homes are prepared and stored with food. And right now, you can get yourself and your family ready with a 3-month emergency food kit from My Patriot Supply. It comes with delicious foods like creamy stroganoff, honey wheat bread, cheesy broccoli soup, spaghetti, chili mac, even pancake mix. The entire kit offers 2,000 calories every day, and the food lasts up to 25 years. Who knows what things will look like then? But if that dreaded day does come, you will be ready. Go to thedogspodcast.com/Patriot right now to order your 3-month emergency food kit from My Patriot Supply. Protect your food situation for things like extended power outages, cyber attacks, natural disasters, quarantines, even things like job loss and income reduction, whatever the situation might be. Make sure that your most basic needs are covered so that you can focus on whatever else you need to do. That's thedogspodcast.com/Patriot to order your 3-month emergency food kit now from My Patriot Supply.